Only 1% of guitar players on Earth can play this. And this was the lick that I had been afraid of for years. Until this moment right here. Now, just to give you an idea, this is played in sextuplets at 126 beats per minute, which is the holy grail of speed for guitar players. And most people try for years and years to get to this level, but they never get there. And as I start this challenge, I'm one of those people. I mean, I've tried and failed at this more times than I can count. So I stopped trying. But I knew if I didn't finally face it, I would never get there. It wasn't just magically going to happen. Not to mention, I had a promise to keep with my 14-year-old self to get to this level. It was always my dream, and I wasn't gonna quit and let him down. So I dove in again, but this time, I gave myself no way out. I would practice these two measures every single day until I mastered it at full speed, no matter how long it took. So I started at 80 beats per minute. Slow, but fairly confident that I would probably get it within a month max. And boy, was I wrong. What I didn't realize was how much this would test my grit and perseverance.
Not happening. Not happening right now.
30 days in, I was stuck. My right hand tensed up, my synchronization was garbage, and no matter how much I practiced, I couldn't break through. And about 5-6 months in, this is where I started to lose it. I acquired a back injury, so I had to switch to this weird position of playing guitar where I leaned my neck up against my desk, and eventually I had to switch to playing standing. I thought for sure there's no way I can get this now that I have to practice standing up. On top of that, my mental health took a hit. Picking up the guitar is hard, dealing with a lot of depression and just a lot of personal stuff that's really it's hard to put one foot in front of the other, let alone pick up your guitar and practice for 3 hours a day. It's hard to explain what it's like to spend more than half a year on 2 measures of music. It was so draining and grueling, but I kept pushing on. Then at the 7-month mark, everything changed. I stopped brute forcing my way through it, and I started thinking like an engineer again. I realized that I had fallen into mindless repetition, which is what I teach my students not to do. And if you watch any of my YouTube videos, you know that very well. I had been 10 BPM away from my goal of full speed for 5 months. That's way too long. So, like an engineer, I started asking, if I break this down to the first principles of what's happening here, maybe I can figure out what's truly the problem? Why can I not get to full speed? So I broke it down to the smallest details and figured out where the problem was happening. Here's how I broke it down. I knew the run lasted for 8 beats. So I first tested if I could even endure 8 beats at full speed, 126 BPM, on one single string with the right hand only. And I couldn't. That's when I realized I had 3 main problems. Number 1, I had an endurance problem. I couldn't go across 8 beats with just the right hand only. Number 2, I had a raw speed problem. My hands started spazzing up and tensing up at beats 5 or 6. And lastly, I had a synchronization problem at these higher speeds. So to fix the endurance problem, I started implementing a right hand isolation regimen. Again, the idea is if I can't play relaxed and clean at this top speed on one single string at sextuplets, how can I expect to do it with my left hand across all of the strings? It doesn't make logical sense. So I started doing this right hand isolation on one single string every day across all 8 beats until I could do it. Then from there, right hand isolated on open strings, I would see if I can now transition at this high speed across all of the strings until I could finally do it. Then I added in the left hand and did the same thing. I would just do 3 notes over and over on one single string. And this helped my synchronization a lot as well, which tackled that problem. And this was my regimen every day. And I started to feel a little bit of progress. So that took care of the first 2 problems. Now for the raw speed problem, I started implementing something called progressive overload.
Which means I'm purposely going far beyond my limit to make it feel really fast, and then I'm going to the normal speed, full speed of the song, which is 126. I'm going to 136, 10 beats above, and going back down to 126, which is the speed Paul Gilbert does it. So it feels easier. Just small bursts.
And just as a side note, on top of that, I started using this supplement that I heard could work like natural Adderall. And it actually locked me into a flow state every day, which I think really helped my progress. Until finally one day I said,
Today's the day, because I'm so sick of not getting this.
So I worked on it all day that day. I took breaks in between, but it was my main priority. I just had this feeling that I've got to get it today. And then, finally.
I'm gonna record this with the actual into my DAW so I can hear it clearly. The acoustics in here are so bad that I can't hear if it's synchronized well or not. I did it. That was it. That was the tape.
After 7 months, I finally got it. Clean, controlled, at full speed, and standing up. I achieved a lifelong dream of mine, and I worked so hard. I'm almost getting emotional because I can't believe I worked that hard on this just to get this. But it was sort of a gift to give my 14-year-old self. I got up to the speed that only 1% of the guitar population can achieve. And granted, it's not very consistent yet, but I'm there now and I know what to do. But this wasn't just about speed. I learned that I can do really hard things. Because I used to believe that I was weak, that I couldn't do hard things, that I couldn't do certain things, and now I know I can. So here are some of the biggest things that I learned. The number one most important thing, if I didn't understand pick slanting, as coined by Troy Grady, I never would have pulled this off. Never. I'll link you to a video explaining what pick slanting is in a second. Number two, I realized I can do really hard things. I have more grit and tenacity than I give myself credit for, and you might too. Number three, you can't rush the process of mastery. Mastery requires you to let go of timelines. I thought I was gonna get it in 30 days. I had to push far beyond that. Number four, you can shrink the time it takes to master something if you think like an engineer. And if you break things down into small pieces, into the ground level problems and master them from the ground up. Number five, honestly, consistency over a long period of time is the ultimate superpower. It's what separates average Joes from the masters. If this video inspired you even a little, please subscribe to the channel. And like I promised, if you want to learn about pick slanting and how to implement it into your playing, click this video right here.